Alright, I've never seen this before. Hey, there we go. I think we're live. Alright. That was a new one. Welcome back to YouTube, where tech problems are a thing of the day. Alright, what's going on, everybody? That was one thing I did not miss from YouTube, was the constant connectivity issues, but to be fair, this computer has just had problems ever since I set it up. I was actually hoping to have time to do a full wipe and OS reinstall today, and I just did not get time. Hopefully I'll be able to before Tuesday, though. So what up, Ron, Tariq, Ronan, let's see, Fatal Error, True Blue, what's going on, everybody? What up, Brian? How you doing, man? Alright, guys. So, today we're going to be trying a few dungeon teams. But you know what? There's something I'm going to do first. So unfortunately, it is that time of year, guys. Well, I guess it's that time in general. It is siege tourney time. And that does mean that we need to start blocking out chat. So I know the bar is ugly. I'm sorry, guys. I had actually forgotten. We really, since we're not actively in we're on a buy, right? We're on a buy for the tourney, so I hadn't been thinking of blocking it out, but I think we're starting some discussions in guild chat. And of course, it's gonna show up there, but as we get closer, I'll have to make sure to block it out everywhere. For right now, this should be good enough, just so that the full conversations aren't scrolling by. The little black bar at the top of the screen. Looks like I do have to make it just a little bit longer. That's what she said. There we go. Alright, now it's big and black. Yeah, I will switch it over to a blue bar. Last tourney I had done my best to make it a little bit more decorative, but today I didn't plan on it in advance, so it takes me a little bit of time to try and make it somewhat more decorative, but for the next stream we'll try and make it more decorative. Alright, guys, so plan for today is we're going to be testing Spiritual Realm, because I've been given 3 good teams for that. I'm pretty sure I know which one I'm going to go with, but I will test at least 2 of them just to see if there's a difference. The third one I can't test because I don't have Deborah. So Spiritual Realm is one. Yeah. Rift Beast is another. So people have been saying that if you just run 4 monsters in Rift Beast, you'll get faster runs for your gem drops. So I want to test that. I did test off stream yesterday. I tested with a suicide fodder monster, and that did not speed it up. So apparently if you suicide a monster at the start, you still get the same amount of time in groggy state, but I think if you just start without the monster, that may speed it up. And then we'll most likely be doing Abyssal Giants today as well. I've been given teams for each of those. These are not going to be my testing. I might try and tweak some through the builds. But what we're going to be doing is building some of the teams that I've heard so far are some of the better ones, basically. So we're going to start with Rift Beast because that's the easiest. I mean, really, all we're doing is throwing in, 4 monsters. And I think what we'll probably start with is Wind. Actually, we'll start with Dark. Dark is what most people care about for Giants. It's also going to be a lot easier. So I think we might just try and run 4 twins at the start. I don't know if that will be enough. But that's probably what we'll start with, is like 4 twins. So Jester, this just happened in the 8.0 update. Specifically what it is Giants B12 was turned into Giants B10. So you can see right here, I haven't even done the new 11 and 12 yet. Giants B10, you still run your same team, you still get the same drops, you still get the same, in this case, 20-second runs. Yeah, that bar is just, it's going to be like all over the place as we're going through different menus, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to move that. Even further and uglier. But let's try that. I don't know if that's further and uglier, or maybe it's less distracting because it just cuts off the whole top of the screen. That might actually be better, not worse. Yeah, let's try like that. Now, Rift Dungeons, for those of you who have been gone for a while, Rift Dungeons are now dropping gems. So there's a few different things that we could do here. The easy first choice would be 4 twins. That does go without attack effect, though. So I changed my mind. We're going to do Ergar, Crow. Let's run Douglas for a little bit of safety. We'll run Ergar. And then I guess Crow, is there another big single target damage light monster? Altair? Never tested him. I think he would stack too slow. His damage was ass. Leia? Leia, maybe. Okay, we can try this. And then let's do this, because he'll self-shield, right? Nobody has a crit rate lead here? Yeah, okay. So if this works, then I'll go ahead and optimize. I should have, oh, you know what? No, Light Chun-Li should already be built and optimized. There we go. That's what we're testing. What's up, Yuno? Yeah, I have lots of kinkies, but I have no Debras. What team would I use for TOA Hard 100? Anything with single target pushback is basically good. So, monsters like Lauren are amazing. Ajir, anything with single target pushback is going to be good there. What up, Armadillo? I've got a couple of decent ones, not as many as I am hoping to have for tourney. My focus has been all seals so far. Okay, so I did test specifically this. I forgot to put the time up. We're going to time this again. I was first just making sure I would get triple S. It's 17 minutes almost exactly to do a set of 10. I tested that 3 times yesterday. So that's 1,020 seconds, which is 102 seconds. You would have to subtract about 5 seconds for loads in between. So we're looking for about 97 seconds per run. Okay, so that was 5 million. It's going to be mainly for RTA and siege defense, but it's going to be pretty toxic, I think, in RTA. I don't know yet how it'll be on siege defense, but it's going to be stupid toxic in RTA. Just imagine facing like Despair Seal more into Triple Seal Chung, so that the opponent has like 50-something% chance to prevent you from proccing out of a stun. It's going to be terrible. Like, I'm dreading it. I'm really not looking forward to dealing with Seal Runes in RTA. So the damage is fine. Well, that's the thing. Seal reduce. I mean, yeah, it adds yet another element of RNG to the game, basically. All right, I need. Is there a stopwatch app? No. Man, I don't have my. Okay. I don't have my cell phone in the room here, so I need to get this timed, and there's like no stopwatch app or timer in Windows. Oh, you know what? We can use, there we go. I see. We can use the timer on the stream. That'll work. Yeah, but the difference is that it stacks, James. So if you run Despair Seal more with Triple Seal Chung, that's not low RNG to prevent RNG. That's high RNG to prevent low RNG. The record button. Oh, record button. That shows you times now here? I don't think so, just scores, right? Yeah, it just shows you scores in this mode. What up, Colin? How you doing? He's gonna fail. Oh, that was close to a fail. Might need Vampire on the Douglas. Just to be... Well, no, he healed up well enough there. This could fail right here. Yeah, that's a fail. Okay. Alright, let's drop that, and let's go... Oops. Let's drop that for Wahi. So these monsters' crit rates are going to be low. That's an issue. Well, so Seal is a debuff, which means it's just a chance to apply. So you can stack Triple Seal on your Chung, and then you get a 15% chance on the Moor and a 45% chance on Chung following him. Plus, if you have, like, Bio Seal on your Oliver or whatever else, like, you're going to get hit with a lot of Seal opportunities to prevent that 122% chance at a proc. So no, it's a massive, massive boost for turn 1 gameplay. At least that's what I'm expecting. I mean, we'll see, but that's what I'm expecting. Because turn 1 gameplay didn't already have enough advantages. Alright, let's try this. Alright, so 1450 on stream, start. 1451. So we're looking for this to finish faster than 97 seconds. I'm wondering if I should switch the Wahi into the front row and move the Lucas to the back row also, because he's the biggest damage dealer. Probably gets us into... yeah, that probably gets us into groggy stage sooner, and it makes it safer on the end. Alright, so we're at a minute 10. A minute 10, so 70 seconds. Yeah, that was faster, so that is confirmed. That is confirmed. That run right there was a minute 10. And then just to prove it out, and that was a minute 10 and it's still not fully optimized, so I could have put the cross into groggy faster and so on, like 66 here. So just to prove it out, we'll throw in a pair of twins. Or we'll throw in the first two things we see. So there you go. First two things we see that are ruined. So starting here at 1637. I appreciate it, bro. We won't mention that you were like the 20th person to tell me that. Or that I had already tested it before you told me that, but I appreciate the heads up. I actually tested it the first day. But the thing is, when I tested it, like I had the idea, obviously not the only one. A lot of people had the same idea. But the thing with me, my idea that was flawed was I thought we could use a suicide monster at the start, but apparently the number of turns in the groggy state. Interesting. So if the number of turns in groggy state is determined by the number of monsters you start with, does that open up the door for higher damage teams to try and go for a new record? You'd have to have her type, I think. If you had her type, you could suicide off like 4 triple fight level 1 monsters at the start, and then just run a monster with like attack buff plus her type. And you could probably do some just insane numbers. If I'm correct. Ah, man, I forgot to check the time on that one. Alright, let's redo that. Okay, so 70 seconds on the original, so 1826. This run started at 1826 on the stream. Seal debuff is 1 turn, but if the monster is stunned or otherwise CC'd, that's all you need. Just prevents monsters like Lulu or Riley from proccing out and or from getting their debuffs up. $31. That was faster, guys. That was 65 seconds. 6 monsters was faster than 5. I mean... let's hope you're right and I'm wrong. But... I'm not going to hold my breath. I think Seal is going to be stupidly toxic at high levels. I want to check the load time between dungeons here. From when this one ends, how long it takes to get to when the next one begins also. Because I was assuming 5 seconds when I averaged out my time earlier, but it could be very different. I would expect Seal to play a role in SWC, absolutely. Alright, so that was 57. There it is. That's what takes so long. $16 seconds. It's 16 seconds from when one run ends until you start attacking in the next run. So it's 16 seconds of downtime. So that changes the math before. So if I did, it's about 16 minutes and 45 seconds when I ran it before. So 16.75 times 60 is 1,005 seconds over 10 runs. Minus 16. So I was averaging 84 seconds a run. So Jose, that's a really good question that I don't know the answer to. I am very curious about it. My belief right now is that it does not, or if it does, then that score number is probably just somewhere around like 5 to 7 million, because like just the random stuff I've been throwing in has seemed to average good enough. But I'm not really sure. So before they made this gem drops, higher score did improve your drop rate. And I don't know if that changed because the devs didn't say anything about it. And I don't really know how to check that without like logging my drop rates over, you know, probably 1,000 runs, which to be honest is just more work than I'm willing to do. But I'm hoping that Swar Farm will eventually have that data from all the people that are running the Summoner's War Exporter. So I think we'll get that answer, but I don't know how long it'll take Swar Farm to give us that answer. Maybe somebody like, say, Shiza will do it, because I know he does a lot of data logging, but I mean, you're just talking about an insane amount of time, because to get to any level of statistical significance, you would probably have to do 500 runs with a high score and 500 runs with a low score. I mean, you could maybe cheese it with 200 to 300, but that's still iffy. So, alright guys, so the jury is back in. And I don't think 4 monsters is actually faster than 6 after all. I think what's going to matter is using monsters that don't have a built-in cycle and monsters that have fast animations, honestly. Darkrin with the super sticker. Darkrin, bro. Long time no see, and thank you very much for the super sticker, man. Really appreciate it, bro. So, Jose, I know a lot of people said that I actually dropped a video yesterday addressing kind of like a lot of the common complaints that I've heard since the update. But I'll tell you, I don't think it would be a good idea for them to make this faster. Farming gems, the way we're able to do it now, by farming 5 specific gems dedicated out of a dungeon, if you math it out, it used to be, and I don't know the exact drop rates, but gem drop rates were probably about 1 in 10 before, and you had a 17 chance set and about half the gems were garbage, right? So it used to be that just to get a usable violent gem would have taken you somewhere around 340 runs, and then to get the specific violent gem you wanted would have taken you somewhere around 1,500 runs at least, if not 3,000. Now, you can get a usable Bio gem at least once every 10 runs. So if you used to have to do, even on the low side, 1,500 runs at 30 seconds a pop, that was 750 minutes of farming. Now it's 20 minutes of farming. I mean, it is 1,000 times faster to get the gems. Now, I know some people have complained that it's slower to get the grinds. I've seen some people break down the math. The argument I've seen is that it's 20% slower to get the grinds. I'm not sure I entirely buy into that argument, because you drop gem drops and they said that they were reducing mana and everything else. But let's just say that it is 20% slower to get grinds. If it's 10 times faster to get gems, compared to 20% slower to get grinds, your rune advancement is much more. Also, you're spending way less energy on net to complete one rune, because to complete one rune, you typically need, if a range on hero is 4 to 7 and you'll accept a 6, then you need on average 3 grinds per stat plus 1 gem. So on average, you need 9 grinds and 1 gem for a rune. And so if it used to be you had to do 1,700 runs for the gem, and then you had to do about 1,700 runs for the grinds, took you 750 minutes. Now you just get there so much faster on net, and you use less energy and less resources overall while you're doing it. So this system, like them putting dedicated gems out, is just game-changing beyond belief in my eyes. Plus, I gotta admit, when you have fast dungeon teams, sometimes it's nice to have something that takes 20 minutes so that you can walk away for a little bit, compared to the 5-minute runs that you would normally be doing and having to be like anchored to the computer to know that you're farming, or phone, or whatever. I don't think it's a bad thing to have like a usable... Alright, I think we can stop farming this. I think we've pretty much tested this out. I'm gonna go ahead and just... I want to time one more run. The 4 monster run was 70 seconds. I timed 2 of these, they both came in at 70, but we're going to time one more just to verify, but it looks to me like the number of monsters is actually not making a difference. I think it's going to come down to using monsters that don't self-cycle. So, for example, don't use Talia, or don't use twins that self-cycle, because those turns don't speed up Groggy State. And don't use Ergar, for example, because he self-cycles. So anything that's... How many times am I gonna forget to look at the timer while I'm rambling on? Okay. Attempt number 7,016,000,000 to remember. Alright, 27:40. We're at 27 minutes, 40 seconds. The other difference here too is 4 monsters took me a lot longer to get the boss into Groggy State, so there's an argument to be made that maybe 4 monsters is faster if you can get the boss into Groggy State quickly enough. So we could test that as well. Obviously this is not an optimized team or anything, by the way, guys. I just picked random monsters that had runes on them. The Lucas, because of his free turn, speeds things up a lot. I wonder if something like an all Neostone agent team, because they all have, they self-chain, not cycle. In other words, they take more turns and they have fast animations. Alright, 27 minutes. Yeah, this is 70 seconds. It's the same thing. Yeah, this is only if you're trying to do faster runs, Brewmaster. This is only for faster runs. Nothing but that. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and test the Logan. And Ryan, let's go ahead and test, like, let's test the theory that monsters that chain into additional turns would be faster. Kung Fu Girls have an RNG chain, so that would be a possibility. But the RNG chain, it's going to give you less consistency, right? So the Neostone agents have a guaranteed chain. At least some of them do, like Logan does. And I think Ryan does. Alright, so we're going to do that. Does Sophia also, or somebody else that could fill up attack bar? But let's start with this. All right, we'll just throw the Teshar runes onto Logan. Should be fine. And then who else might have a good... I can throw like Crow Runes onto Ryan. I just want monsters I can find quickly so we don't spend all day looking for those monsters. So yeah, Crow should have a usable set. Technically not 100 crit rate, but that should still be fine. It's not technically, it is not a 100 crit rate. There's no technically about it. It is not a 100 crit rate, but that should still be fine. Oh, actually, Logan at least is gonna self boost crit, right? So does he get crit rate boost also? Skill 3 always lands as a critical hit. I don't know if he'll actually cycle or not. Let's find out. The Water Huadems are like a long time ago. There was a time where my Rainbow Mon storage was full and I just had to burn off a bunch of... Yeah, he's got fast animation. Okay. Let's do that. There was a time when I had to burn off a bunch of Rainbow Mon, and I needed something to build, and because I hate looking for monsters in my box, I just wanted to build the same monster over and over. So I went with the Gildongs because they're good for World Boss, but then I never actually made a push on World Boss. Because I already had a rank 5 without trying, and so it was kind of like, I don't care. Like, I didn't think I could make Legend because there's people with like 100 Sigmaruses, and I had already gotten rank 5 on World Boss, so I was like, it's just not worth it. So I built all the Gildongs, but I never actually tried. Yeah, Mario, I apologize for that. With Siege Tournament going on, my guild was discussing possible defenses, so I blocked off chat. Seal does not prevent Swift. It prevents, the easiest way I think to say it is it prevents anything that is active. So it prevents things that do active effects. It prevents Revenge, it prevents Violent, it prevents Despair. But it does not prevent things with like stat boosting effects. 3318. 3318 is our timer here. So yeah, it would not stop Seal or Blade or things like that, but it would stop Violent and Despair and things like that. What did I say, guys? 3318, right? So we're at 42 seconds and through Groggy already. This might be, yeah, this might be it. Okay, so that was 57 seconds, guys. 57 seconds. We'll do one more to verify, but I think that's definitely faster. Okay, it was 34:27 when the boss's head started to load. 34:27. Yeah, we're just testing if you can make this faster. People have been complaining about the speed of gem drops, and to be fair, I mean, complaining or not, we always want faster teams, right? So I'm trying to see how fast we can get this. It looks like it takes 16, 17 seconds from when one run ends to get to the next. That's the biggest thing that there's nothing you can do about. That was 35, 31, so that was 64 seconds. This is definitely faster than the 4-monster version. We can test it. Let's see, we'll drop the Vertihile. Actually, these three are kind of like our MVPs, right? Let's put him in the back. We have our attack buff, and then all of these guys are doing great damage, right? So we'll test it and we'll see. We'll see. Okay, boss's head popped up at 3604. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. If it does actually reduce groggy state hits, then 5 mons would be the sweet spot. Because we need to get the boss to drop before he takes a turn on that first one. What up, Yuno? How you doing, man? Alright, so we already crossed the 1 minute threshold, so this is already slower. And clearly less stable as well. Yeah, that was 68 seconds. So that was slower again. We can try it with 5. But to me, I don't actually... We probably should have just counted the number of hits that we're getting in groggy state. That would have made sense. So we have the 2 elementals. The fire one, I don't think he self-cycles. He just has that, like, damage scaling passive, right? Yeah, so the fire one doesn't, and then the wind one, the dark one, as far as I know, doesn't have guaranteed extra turns either. Who does? Who does damage with multiple turns in a row? Waterdoll Seam, right? I think Waterdoll Seam gets an instant second damage turn. So the thing is, they have to attack the boss on each turn to progress the meter. Yep. Waterdoll Seam. Okay. So let's try that. Let's move him back because he does better job at cycling. And then I just need to find who's got a big damage. Julianne. Yeah, because we don't really care about damage numbers right now. We're just trying to test cycling. So I think Julianne has a good damage Vio set. Yeah, well, as long as we drop the boss on turn 1, he won't get hit. Yeah, but then the second time that probably resets, right? That probably resets, but we'll test it. Alright, head pops up at 3914. Alright, let's try and count the attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26. Does anybody remember what time I said that started? Because I don't. I said too many numbers. It finished at 40:15. Alright, let's count the groggy attacks again. This is 40-48. If so, 39-14. So it was a minute again. I skipped the Wahi. I didn't count the Wahi too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So that's confirmed. Okay, so we do get less attacks with less monsters. That's confirmed. So I think 5 monsters with self-cycle animations might be the sweet spot. Even though it wasn't faster on the first try, none of these monsters were optimized. And none of them were on bio. But I think 5 monsters with enough damage output to drop the boss is probably the sweet spot. So we drop 6 attacks out of groggy state, but we still have the damage output we need. So let me go ahead now. We'll try and do a couple of optimizations. I'm going to run some optimizations. I won't show you guys the optimizer because... Oops. I have to actually remote into my computer. I can't remote into my computer. Wonderful. Why did my computer go offline? Okay. I don't have the price. Okay, guys, I will be right back. I just have to go reset my computer. I need to run the optimizations from my computer. I have to remote in, so I will be right back, guys. All right, that should do it. Before I optimize, actually, I'm sure of the Neostone agents. Yeah, I was. You beat me to it, Azur. I was just about to say. Before I optimize, let's try and figure out if there's anyone else that makes sense here. I think Wahi is the best damage dealer for this. So I feel pretty comfortable with the Wahi. I feel very comfortable with Logan and Lucas. Trevor seems to be fine. The Water Doll I saw somebody say his animation was slower. We could try to just 6-star the Poison Master and then maybe T-Mog it if we needed to. What other monsters have self-cycle attacks though? Are there none? I wonder how Sylvia would do here. Wind Panda would be really slow. We're looking for monsters that take additional turns so we can accelerate through the groggy state. Oh, assassins! I knew there were some. Okay. Oh, so the enemy has to die for this one, though. And she self-cycles. And Tanya self-cycles as well. Ralk only cycles on a kill. Same issue as the assassins. Yen does have a chance to. That's built in. Dark Barbaric King, so the Frenzy state. Brondia would give you big damage numbers, but she has a slow animation. Yen might be the best of those mentioned because she has a really fast animation, at least on the skill 1. Dalsim's S2 is really fast. His S1 is slow. What's the Poison Master look like? Oops. He has a T-Mog, right? The Poison Master has a T-Mog, I think. Ooh, Trevor has T-Mog too. Well, the Neostones have T-Mogs. That seems slow. That seems slower. Okay. Do the Poison Masters not have T-Mogs? So I don't see them here. Maybe they don't have T-Mogs. The Dice Magicians can take a crap ton of turns, but their animations are too slow. Moria has the weird team-up thing. But team-ups don't progress though. Team-ups are actually slower because then you're at the mercy of... Okay, that's slow as shit. No, I'm good on that one. Let's see. Yep, no, I'm good on that one. Honestly, the damage doesn't even matter. We'll have plenty of damage just from the Logan. It's just finding whatever can do the well, we do... No, that's not true. We need to get the boss down, so we do need big damage at the start. We do need some big damage at the start. Iono only takes... Iono only takes a turn if he dies, right? They do have T-Mogs? Why couldn't I... well, I know why I couldn't find it, because you can never find anything in this game. I'm not seeing it, man. I am not seeing the team up. I know why I'm not seeing it. It's only showing me the monsters I have built. I realized that as soon as I saw the dupes. Okay. Now it'll show it to me. Or do I have to awaken him? No, there it is. Okay. That's much slower. That's much slower. Okay. Dalsim seems faster, right? Yeah, the Dalsim is faster. Okay. So I think the monsters that we want here, it's going to be the Neostone agents. Chris does have a fast animation. She doesn't self-cycle, but she does have a really fast animation. We can give her a shot. We're trying to find monsters that take as many turns as possible, but yeah, Chris is a possibility. Light Chun-Li is great for the damage she does, but the animation is just really... The S1 animation is fast, the S2 is slow. She does cycle it. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. I totally forgot. Good call. Yeah, good call. And she gives you a backup defense decrease. Well, I mean, in that case, you would just use the light robo. But you know what? Let's verify something. Oh, I got an idea. I want to count the attacks with the light robo. And see if the monster being dead in groggy state really matters. So we know it's 26 with 5 monsters, 32 with 6 monsters. So Chris's animation is still kind of slow, but it's not terrible. I still had the Sylvia in there, right? Yeah, the Suicide Boy. Thing with light, what we'll do is we'll put the light robo on triple fight, and then if he somehow survives, he suicides anyway. Yeah, Chris, I mean, she's a little bit slower on the animation side, but she's not bad. Alright, so the only problem with this is he might get chained. Let's just do this for now. Yeah, he survived. So we need him to suicide. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The one turn he took. The one turn he took, so he can die. Oh, Light Robo might work here. Light Robo might actually work here. Gives us a little extra triple fight set. What we could actually do is just stick him in the front row then. So it won't matter if he gets chained because he self-destructs and otherwise he just dies. So it's kind of win-win. And then in that case, we could probably put him in an actual damage build. Alright. Alright, so we take these two, Chris and this one. Archer should have the T-Mod, yeah. Let's, oops. I always mix those two up. Let's see. So Chris is out. We should see her down here. That does not seem faster. It's cool, but it's not faster. Did that just say human Lucas? Okay, that was pretty quick. That was not bad either. Okay. Oh, Hitman Lucas. Okay. I was like, human Lucas? Hitman Lucas is kind of quick. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Wahi, which, at least for right now, I think I might just build a second Wahi. I don't want to mess with... I can just boost my solo R5, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine. I just have to keep her at the same speed. Okay. Alright, I'm actually going to show you guys the optimizer after all. My process here is a little bit tricky, and I've done a video on this, which I think a lot of people may be bored with, but... or may find boring, I should say. But I will show you guys the reason I had to do this in the optimizer. This has to do with tourney level siege stuff. So in this case, what we're gonna do is I use priority lists to make sure I'm not taking runes that matter from monsters that matter. So we're gonna go ahead and add Wahi, Lucas, Logan, Trevor, not Trevor, Ryan, Chris, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we like Chris or Dalsim more? We can try Chris. That's fine. We'll try Chris. Okay, Lucas is going to need 55. And then the thing is, you can see Wahi and Lucas are now very high on the priority list. That's because they were already ruined for other teams. So we're going to come over here. We're going to drop Wahi out. And we're going to drop Lucas out. We're also going to drop Brandia out. I don't think she'll ever get used again. Come down here to siege offense. And there we go. Everybody's in order. Okay. So now we're going to run the Wahi first. What up, Jeff? How you doing, man? I think we want to put everything on Vio, right? The more turns we take, the better. Yeah, I think Vio is fine. We don't really care about the offset. I could actually just do everything in fight. Or I could do a lot of determination stuff. So yeah, we don't really care about the offset. It honestly doesn't matter. They're all going to be attack, speed, crit damage, attack. And now here we're just going to go ignore runes and higher priority monsters. Wahi is going to need 100 crit rate. And they don't really need much speed. They just need to be speed tuned. But Wahi is the only one. I need to keep her at her same speed so it doesn't bust up my solo R5. So the Wahi is going to get a faster set. Go 157 to 161. That should be fine. Oops. Defense break and attack buff. And apply. Of course, it crashed. Excellent! Excellent, excellent. That's what we were hoping for. Quick crash. Okay. Crap. Wahi cannot go into Vio, actually, because that would mess up my solo R5 also. So... actually go up to 169, I think. That's why it crashed. Too many builds. And it's not calculating damage for some reason. Okay, well first of all, that's the wrong monster. And second, it was calculating on a passive. Okay. That makes sense. Alright, this is not going to work with me being remoted in, so I think what'll actually happen here, we've identified the team. I'm probably going to make a video on this anyway. So we're just going to leave it at that. That is the team. So yeah, no, the issue is because I'm remoted in, it was just too much of a, I don't know, it was just like eating up too many resources or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, what it'll come down to, I'll time it between Water Dalsim and Chris, I think. And also as a free-to-play option, that monster position will change based on what people have. Lucas, I believe he was HOH, but not everybody's going to have him either. Yeah, so Viraj, that's what we tested, and that is true and not true at the same time. So we actually did the specifically correct way to say that is for the Rift Beast, you can take fewer turns in groggy state by using less monsters. However, if the boss takes more turns out of groggy state, then you lose that speed benefit that you gain. So the testing on the team that we concluded here is that monsters that have built-in additional turns will speed up through the groggy state faster. And then one of the tricks is to bring in a light robo, which this one, I think this is just a small trick. So what it is if you use 6 versus 5 versus 4 monsters, you're saving 4 hits in groggy state with each monster. 5 monsters, I think, is going to be the sweet spot in terms of being able to consistently drop the boss into groggy state before he takes a turn. And then one of the things that you can do there is actually use a damage-built light robo, but damage-built on triple fight, so that when he does attack the boss, he suicides and he doesn't eat up those turns in groggy state, but he gives you triple fight sets and a little bit of damage prior to groggy state. Or, for the dark one at least, one of two things will happen. Either he eats the chain and all your monsters are free to do damage, or he does damage, and either way, you're getting that extra damage on the boss. So this is pretty much the team I think that we worked out. This was only worked out on Dark, but this should work on most of them. It probably... How do you call credit? Oh, because you said Water Robo and it reminded me. I'll give you that. I'll give you partial credit. Water Robo was a terrible idea, but... only because the Water Robo revives into invincibility and has a slow animation, but the Light Robo might work out well. So I give you partial credit. You were going in that direction. I just got there a split second first. That's all it was. But yeah, I think some mix of these 7 monsters. Where's the Wahi? Some mix of these 7 monsters is probably going to be the best team for the majority of the dungeons. I mean, it certainly won't work in Wind because you have 2 water units here. You would need to swap those out. But I think the light monster core, these 3 are going to work basically everywhere. Wahi will be good everywhere except for water, of course. Water is always the bitch, but the important dungeons right now are going to be Wind and Dark anyway, because Wind has the seal gems and then Dark has the bio gems. So it'll be some mix of these. I'll do a video on these. And then kind of point us back to, we did a lot of testing in terms of speed, but the team seems like we can get sub 1 minute. What you can't beat is the 17 seconds loading between dungeons. So if we get to about a 55-second run time, it's still going to be a minute 12 on average, but that's still not terrible. That's 11 and a half, 12 minutes for a set of 10. All right, so next dungeon we're going to do is going to be Spiritual Realm, because I've been given some teams for this one. So the original team that I did, which was 100% for me, but was only averaging in the mid-30s, involved using Lucian here. I did a lot of testing on Shayna, and I couldn't make her work, but one of the good ideas I was given is to put her on double will. So I'm actually going to go take a look at some of the builds right now. So the first team we're going to test, this one is Creditive Dies. Dies a lot, I don't know if he's on stream right now. And this is going to be, he's actually not using the seat. So we're going to drop the seat. And it's just Shayna double Rauk double A-star. Which this works, I think both of these A-stars are built from my earlier testing. So this works. Now he went with 100% crit rate on everything. And without the Seek, you would actually need that. So we're going to need to boost the crit rate on this one a little bit. So let's do that. Does not boost the crit rate. Okay. Oh, because I'm on grade, that's why. Alright, there we go. That's speed, 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 attack. There we go. Alright, so that's a slight crit rate boost. What do I need? 12 more, so I need 17 here. There it is, 17. That's a better rate now. Okay. Oh, that's too fast though. I need like 17 no speed. 12 speed, speed, speed. Okay, this has no speed, so that gets us closer. So I mean, I honestly hope they don't make them faster, and I know I'm super in the minority on this one, but I explained it earlier. If you look at how long it used to take to farm gems, things are just getting to be at a point where it's going to be too easy in my eyes. I mean, they already made gems like 10 times faster. That's 20, that's close. Thank you, Plum Dog. Yeah, oh, I thought I just switched it. Oh, I just switched a blade over a blade, didn't I? That's what I was trying to smooth out. So 4, I just need 6. That's got speed, that's got speed, that's got speed. Alright, that's still slower. That's fine. Okay, so we've got the 2 A stars at 100. See, I feel like it already is crazy generous. The math I was saying before, like, it used to take, so if you figure I'll do this one more time. If you figure gems used to drop about once every 10 runs, and there were 17 sets, and half the gems were useless, then it would just be 10 times 17 times 2. So it used to already take 340 runs to drop one usable gem, and then like 60% of those were blue. So now you're at almost 1,000 runs to drop a usable hero gem. And then of those, there's like 7 different kinds. So it was like 3,500 to 7,000 runs to drop the specific Vio gem you needed before. Now you're getting, you know, a third of your gems are hero, or 20% of your gems are hero, but it's 1 in 5 on the violent drop. Or just call it 1 in 7 because there's mana drops and stuff, right? So you get basically every run you have a 15% chance. So it takes 8 runs to get a Vio drop. And then knock out half of those because they're useless. It's every 16 runs, and then knock out 2/3 of those. But however you split it, it's 100 runs, so it's 100 minutes compared to like 100 hours before. It's insane how much easier they made it, and it's cheaper because it uses less energy and drops at a higher rate. So they made it cheaper and easier. Honestly, I feel like it's too cheap and too easy, but I'm in the minority with that. I know that. Okay, so he's running Rage Routes. For right now, I don't know. Alright. I have one good Rage set that I can hot swap, which would be my Giant's Lucian. When I say one good Rage, one optimized Rage set. honestly, even if you math it out at 5 out of 16, you still come up with it being cheaper and faster in the new system. Because you would just divide the numbers that I said by a third, but you know, I have it at like 20 times faster. So even if you divide it by a third, then it's 6 times faster. It's going to route. Okay, that's right. Alright, so in his tuning, it looks like the 2 routes act first, 65. So the Shayna's 68. The routes are 64, 67. So it's going to be Shayna, Ralk, A star, A star. That makes sense. Right. Let's not forget the fact that you can now also get fight grinds. Yeah, I can tell you, if you look at like the majority of players' accounts, I won't say a number, but the vast majority, you know, with the account services, I've been on a lot of accounts. And I don't know if I've ever seen an account that was being held up by grinds. Every last account was being held up by gems. Maybe there are accounts that are being held up by grinds instead of gems, but I've been on dozens, if not hundreds of accounts, and 100% of the accounts I've ever looked at were being more held up by gems than grinds. That's my history of seeing accounts. Good Shizuka counter for RTA, Praha and Juno. Miles, Rakuni also are good. Yeah, except you can farm fight runes now. So you'll cap out on fight, but then you'll also be able to farm fight runes and get higher quality ones. Alright, that'll work. It's nothing special, but it'll work. Oh, we need some accuracy, right? Just S3, so we'll throw in an S3 already. That should be fine. That gives her 46, that's enough. Okay, so we've got the double will Shayna at 166. 165, this may be a hair too fast. This is a super optimized set. This would be hard to slow down. It'd be easier to speed the Shayna up by a speed. There it is. Maybe I might actually have a speed grind. I do. Sweet! See, that's something I never had before. Never had speed grinds before. I never had fight grinds before. That was pretty sweet. Actually, that's worth it there too. That's a nice rune. See, look at that. That was a fight rune that was, like, useless before. I could even technically gem it, but I won't. Alright, so Shayna at 168. Ralk at 165. This Ralk is 171 and missing crit rate. So we'll fix that. Is this speed? No, this is attack, actually. Okay, so let's go... Let's just find a blade attack over crit rate with no speed. That'll work. That's a re-up target. That's the only one. Okay, there it is. So we're getting 12 already. We only need 9. Let's go speed over crit rate. We need 9 speed. That's fine. Okay, that should put it... Ooh. Oh, that's 4 crit rate. I thought that was 22. Okay. Yeah, that one will work. Okay. 57. And then the boss is 173, so I think I slowed this one down too much. And this one needs 5 more speed as well. So... if we do that... 64... let's see... 65... 57. Now she's too fast. Okay. $61, so that's speed. I just have to speed this route up. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay. $12. Let's try that. Too fast again now, right? 69. $59, so we're getting closer. Okay. Okay, no, I need, I lost track now. So the faster A-star, we're at 61, 64. So I need this route to be at 64, this one's 65. I need 10 more speed on this rune. 24 speed over crit rate, okay. 25, 25, 24. Still got 100 crit rate, perfect. Okay, so this is not fully optimized. We obviously did this very quickly, but this is the basis of the team that I was showed that's supposed to be sub 30 average. With a Deborah instead of the second A-star, it's supposed to be much faster. What up, Kelly? How you doing? So Jaime, I've been farming mostly seal-related stuff, so that was pretty smooth, actually. I've been farming a mixture of... you know what? We should have a shield set in here as well, so that we get that extra 5% crit rate. I just realized that. Yeah, I can throw a shield set on one of these guys. That'll give us 5% more crit rate also. So I farmed a lot of spiritual for 2 or 3 days to get enough runes, and then I've been farming gems and grinds for my seal runes, getting prep for turning. Alright, that's already running pretty smooth, and then Shayna should just be double will shield, actually. We just take her off the fight set and put her on shield, and that should do it. So I need 23 crit rate between the two. That's 17. Yep, that's fine. Ooh, maybe not. Might be slow. Do I have a legend here? No. Bro, good luck. I didn't know. Well, I'm not involved in applications. So, good, but good luck on getting a trial, man. 66. I don't know if that's too slow or not. Let's see. I feel like this may have one Rauk acting in front. Tell you what, for a team that I just built in, what was that, like 7 minutes on stream, like not optimized or anything? Yeah, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. I don't know, man. I tried to schedule with you for weeks, and that was like 7 months ago. We could set something up. I'll honor it. What up, Ludi? How you doing, man? All right, so I'm almost positive this is faster than the other team that that was suggested, which is why I went to this one first. I'm going to take a look at the other team, but the other team was a Lucian team. Where'd it go? Ah, here it is. Alright, so the other team is, it looks to be about 27-second average. It's Lucian triple Rauk Seek. Yeah, you would get rid of the Deborah one. It would just be, because this is not optimized for damage at all. Like, I could put a lot more damage on this team. Because you could, I mean, you saw, I just threw in runes to try and get the speed there. I wasn't looking at attack subs, crit damage subs, any of it. And like right there, that boss would have died if I had any more damage on this team. So that's like once optimized, this team should consistently be, I mean, what was that average? 28? So there's no way that this team wouldn't be averaging 25 once optimized, which makes me think that this team is going to be faster than the other option we have, which is the Lucian triple Rauk Seek, but we will try that one just to see. There's nothing too crazy in here. It's a lot of the same monsters that have been tested, just different combinations of them. And in this case, oops. Moved all the Lucian rooms, huh? Okay, should be fine. I would also probably, I don't know if I would keep the Vio Rauk or not. No, he's 170, and he's lacking a ton of crit rate, so let's do this. 179. Let's do this. 161, that's a hair too slow. Does this have 0 speed? It does, so we can do this. That'll work. Okay, 167, so that's good. And then I remember this Lucian was like right on the edge as far as clearing goes, but with artifact upgrades he clears very easily. So I just have to basically give him a little damage on wind, and then he clears just fine. But yeah, if you throw in the Deborah, it honestly doesn't matter, but I would probably get rid of the A-star one, or the Vamp one, just because you just want as much damage as you can get there. Okay, missing multiple defense breaks on this was kind of unfair. Like, we missed, I don't know how many defense breaks there. The mid-boss does have 50 res, and I think my Rauks are short on accuracy, to be fair. The end boss has 0 resistance, but the mid boss does have res. So yeah, this one, let's go S1 AC. All right, guess it's +5 then. All right, let's try this again. Ace has been, he got his realtor's license and he's been super occupied with just work and life in general. He's still playing, but he's not playing a ton. Mostly just logs in for RTA. Doesn't get much time to farm. And obviously hasn't been doing much content. I think he streamed a couple of times a few months ago, but just not much in general. Yeah, I definitely dig the Shayna AA star more. This one has a little bit more RNG built in because you're relying on the Seek. And if you miss a defense break, you get slowed down quite a bit. It feels like the Shayna A-star one was... For one thing, the Shayna is a lot more reliable defense break than the Rauks. Because the Rauks can't defense break... Like, the team-up skill doesn't defense break. So the only monster that can... The only way they defense break is with the monsters that are running with them. But yeah, I gotta give it to Dyes. I think Dyes is probably the best one I've seen so far. So I would go with the Shayna team. This team's fine. It's not optimized, so don't judge it. Like, this might fail right here, but I wouldn't judge the fail because the runes are not fully optimized for what the team should be. But I just think the Shayna one, it felt and ran a lot smoother. And I think it's got a much faster upside. So we'll give it to Dyes on this one. Nice theory crafting. I know Dyes put a lot of work into building that team too, so deserves a huge shout out. That's the team I'm gonna run. Should be a nice upgrade over the team I came up with. Probably a solid 10-second upgrade over the team that I came up with. And I'll be doing videos on I'll be doing videos on all the dungeon stuff that we're doing today. So you guys can expect to see optimized builds and more of a specific walkthrough on how to build the Shayna team. And then I'll throw in the Deborah version. I obviously don't have Deborah, but I will, you know, discuss how Deborah works. But I mean, basically, it's honestly just going to be replace one A-star for Deborah and save 5 seconds. That's really all it is. Anything with Deborah is basically replace something with Deborah and save 5 seconds. But yeah, the Shayna here is just much more reliable on the defense break. And this team just feels a lot smoother. Feels a lot like even this one was kind of a bad run because we missed a lot of crits, and we're not running the crit buff, so it's obviously 50-50. But even with this one on the bad run, it was fine, and that's with these artifacts not being optimized and stuff. So yeah, I would go Shayna double route double A-star. So the boss's speed is 173 combat, so everything just has to be over 173 combat. Shayna is 101 base, I think, if I remember correctly. 101, 102 base, somewhere around there. She's low 100s, but she's over 100. That part matters for tower rounding. 103 base. Okay. So to be over you have to be at 173 combat. So that means you need 70 speed gained. You're gaining 16 from a max tower. So the Shayna would have to be plus 57. Yeah. And then everything else would have to be at the same combat speed, right? But the floor for Shayna is going to be plus 57. And then I don't know that she even really needs as many stats as I have here because she's not a big damage dealer. Certainly doesn't hurt. The double will is basically so the boss can't Oblivion her on the final stage. Like right here when things went wrong, she was still able to get that second defense break up because she wasn't Oblivioned, because her defense break comes from the passive. Alright, let me take a look at the Giants teams that we were given and see if there's time to test one of those out. Been given a lot of different Giants teams. And I wasn't really sure which one I wanted to do first because I haven't run Giants at all yet. So Amir, Galleon, Veramos, Savannah, Lin. I know Seishizo did one on a like a really fast Giants team that requires like crazy well, for one thing it requires a Deborah, which I don't have. For another thing it requires crazy runes that most people can't. DAH. I don't know what DAH is. Sorry. Yeah, not sure. Oh, Dragon's Abyssal Hell? Maybe that's what it is. Dragon's Abyss Hard. I haven't run any of... I did on stream, and I'm sure it's not like a good team. This was just testing on stream. So let's see. I can't use it. But it's definitely not an optimized team. We were just messing around with it a little bit. But I haven't done any of the Abyssal stuff. My focus has been on Seal runes. So somebody asked earlier what my best Seal rune is. I would say... the best one I've gotten so far would be this one. Yeah, probably this one. And I've also got this one. Do I have a grind for that? Oh, I have the grind for this. Okay. Yeah, so these two would be the two best that I've gotten so far. It still needs a regrind, but... See, like, being able to get the gems that I needed for these runes, without them making the change to Rift, this would have been weeks or months before I had all these runes gemmed also. Outcome of Rift Beast was some combination of these 7 monsters, and I'll do a final video on it as far as a walkthrough, but it'll be a combination of these 7 monsters. I just couldn't run the optimizer. The connection to my main PC was too slow. Alright. So we'll test a couple of things with dragons. Sorry, not dragons, giants. Yeah, we're gonna do. I won't get to go all the way through giants, but I will do a little bit of testing on giants now. What up, Matt Ed? How you doing, man? Thoughts on the new despair mechanics? I think it's a net positive, but I don't think it's all that big of a difference. There's one niche situation which primarily impacts RTA but slightly impacts siege defense. The RTA impact is positive, the siege defense is negative. So the niche situation is where a monster like Moor that multi-hits and strips would glance and strip on the first hit and then despair stun you on the second, which is extremely frustrating. But I don't think that actually... Excuse me. It would be where the Moor glances and fails to strip you on the first hit, but then successfully strips you and doesn't glance on the second hit and stuns you. That's a niche situation, but it does add up quite a bit over time as far as RTA goes, because you're 50-50 to glance and he's 30% activation rate. So when those two things happen in that sequence, where he misses the activation strip on the first one but also glances, then he gets that extra stun on the second one that he would not otherwise have gotten. That means he will stun you less. It's not going to be a lot less because we're talking about one niche situation. And I feel like the biggest monster that will be affected by this is Moor, but you're talking about maybe... somebody could math it out, but 5%. I'm just going to say, I'm throwing out a number like 5%. Generally, it's not going to be a huge change. For siege defense, where I see it impacting the most is the same situation, but in reverse. The less monsters that get stunned on siege defense, the even easier defenses are, which is already a major issue at tourney level. So I think it's a net negative for siege defense. I think it's a net positive for... I think it's a net positive for RTA, but I think it's largely not relevant for most things. Evil Jerome. Swift runes... Some Swift runes need HP %, but it depends on the monster and the build. Every rune benefits the more stats it has, but with most Swift runes, the priority of those stats is different. Like, number one priority on a Swift rune is speed and crit rate. They're about equal. Most Swift runes need both. Pretty much every Swift rune needs speed, but Swift runes that have crit rate need less speed. So pretty much every Swift rune needs to have some speed, at least once you're talking about like mid-game and beyond. But how much speed it needs is debatable, because if you get a quad roll crit rate and then you gem in 12, 13, 15 speed, that's a freaking amazing Swift rune because you run it with an attack bar booster. If it's got 28 speed and no other stats, then that's a great rune to run on the booster itself. HP, it helps, but it's like number 5 on the list. Like number 1 is speed, number 2 is crit rate, number 3 is attack percent, number 4 is crit damage, number 5 is probably accuracy, and then number 6 is HP. So it's a very different prioritization than other runes. A rune that has all that stuff or doesn't have the accuracy but goes on an ignore defense monster with HP, that's awesome. So like having HP on us, I'll give you an example, like my RTA Sonya, I wish she had a little bit more HP, because she doesn't, right? Like 7,000 HP is not really... The thing is, Sonya's passive, the fact that she can get glanced on, right? If she had a little bit more HP, then there are situations where she may get hit and then cycle back in front and get a chance, like even when I get outsped, to do some damage. Teshar has extra HP, and I could care less. Like, I could care less if he was plus 2,000 HP, because at this 19k HP, he's gonna die if he gets hit either way, because he has no damage reduction passive, so it doesn't really matter. Sekhmet, I wish she had a little bit more HP than she does in this build. So, totally depends on the monster, and then I could show you other monsters where it's like totally irrelevant. Odin, for example. I have no idea how much HP he has. He could have a lot, he could have a little, and it literally doesn't matter. He's not even on Swift, but there you go. Yeah, so it just really depends on the build you're doing and stuff like that. But yeah, as a general rule, I would say HP is not like a stat that you want to just be like, oh man, I got HP, that sucks. So Mad, I have tested him. He's actually really cool. The build's not optimized. The only builds in this box whatsoever that are optimized are the ones that are numbered here 1 through 5. So I just really started building my box. So it's just these 5 builds that are actually done proper. Everything else is just random runes thrown on for testing purposes. Oh, actually, Sekhmet's optimized as well. Or she's not optimized, but she's there. But yeah, so this is what he's on right now. I would definitely switch him to Despair. When I run him in RTA, I will switch him to Despair. I think the fact that his S1 multi-hits makes him a really good Despair candidate. And I would probably boost the HP a little bit. This is not an optimized build, so I think I can get better stats on him overall. I would want him to have a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more HP, and then try and maintain the other stats once I optimized. I think the other stats are about where they should be. We'll see if we can force him in one time. I don't have a lot runed here, so it's a little bit trickier. But I think into Shizuka drafts, I can get him in sometimes. Yeah, I mean, the skill 2 is really nice, so it's tricky, because it's like, having him proc back to his skill 2 is cool. But the fact that the skill 1 multi-hits and can Despair is also cool. So, I'm kind of mixed opinion here. Alright, if I go Juno, I lack damage. Tessa is not ruined. Crap. What can I use here? Can I use Julianne? I can use Julianne. Okay, there we go. What I was actually trying to pick here was something that he would ban when I bring in the Water Indra. Where's Nyx good? With Sagar, man. Or anything, pretty much anything that like does multi-turn, soft control, soft CC, like provokes and stuff. Nyx Sagar is really dirty. Nyx Indra is actually, or Parjanya, but yeah, Nyx Parjanya is going to be really good. Alright. I think I'm kind of screwed here, but I was just trying to force him in. Have to ban the Tessa. So since he drafted Tessa, he may actually ban... Okay, good. That's what I was trying to do, was get him to ban the Julianne. I think I'll lose here, but hopefully you can at least see a little bit of what he can do. Nyx will be good with Seal, absolutely. Yeah. I actually think the build for Nyx now might be triple Seal instead of Despair. Or Despair Seal, either way. That was unfortunate. It doesn't actually matter, I guess. That was fortunate, though. I think the Indra does pretty good damage myself, to be honest. Water Indra is pretty insane, man. I really enjoy Water Indra. The Fire Indra is a little bit lacking, and the Wind Indra is total shit. But the Water Indra is really legit. Dungeons go to level 12. Nice! Regular dungeons go to 10, and then there's Abyssal that goes to 11 and 12. You know what? Screw it. Oh, that was such a bad stun without me dying. That was like worst case scenario. I was like, at least if I die, I cycle back. But no. Nah, he's like 35% to he's like 35% to revenge. I just wanted him to die. That was the thing. I thought the Ethna would die if he hit her. And then if he revived, I get my S3. But you can see I haven't left Thunder Estate this whole match. He's gone hard into me, and I didn't die. Can I get the stun here? I think so. Yep. Never mind. I guess not. What up, Amon? How you doing? Alright, you're about to see the— oh, we finally were going to see the Indra damage! The whole freaking fight was just to get the Indra damage. Indra would have actually killed right there. Once the scaling happened, Indra would have cleared the field. Which he knew, that's why he quit out, but that still sucks. So here's the excuse me, here's the Ethna build. And then it's just lots of additionals, basically. Hopefully he doesn't pick Juno. If he doesn't draft Juno, I think I can go Volantis Water Indra here. Probably have some damage issues if I take the Water Indra. Yeah, okay. I really want to put the Water Indra here, but I don't know how. Because I need a sustain unit, but I need a strip unit. I guess the Lima. It's not a great... Lima's so crap into Juno, though. He takes the Volantis, okay. First rule of Summoner's War, always ban Oliver. Yeah, max res Volantis, I'm sure. Stop rocking, bro. Food for Juno, but what can I do? At least she procs the more. Never mind. There's no Raccoon on the field. What is with this monkey, bro? What is with this monkey? Dude, that was stupid. Alright, whatever. Alright, last try to try and show the Water Indra. And then... Yeah, I just don't have nearly enough stuff Rune to actually do RTA properly at the moment. I don't even have Riley. I have to give him Riley here. Yep. And Water Indra is a terrible pick into this draft. We're going to do it anyway, just because the whole point of this was to try and show Water Indra, but like from where we're at in the draft, I actually probably still win if I just take Julianne or Vanessa. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries at all. Alright, well now I wouldn't take Julianne either way, but we'll take the Water Indra. I should do a crit rate Kinky. Everybody tesses him, and he does so much damage with when he crits. Not that I draft him, like I wouldn't actually be drafting Kinky at all if I had a box Rune. So, but still, I think it would be funny to have him on crit. All right, let's do this. Ooh, we went for it. Can I provoke this Riley? Yes, I can. Nice. We can wait. More important to get the heal first. Because if I AoE'd right there, I think I get cut. Oh, that's such a bad proc for me. That was such a bad proc for me! Alright, I'm safe enough now. I am getting cut, so let's do this. Yeah, he won the match on the Riley proc. I actually had this if he doesn't proc. Is he gonna get to, yeah. Actually, this should kill, right? Yeah, that killed. So we got the Nana stack, we're okay. Unless he just keeps infinitely procking. Maybe we're not okay. But you can't blame this on water, Indra. This is just straight RNG right here. I actually don't know if he can kill from here. I can though. I mean, that was a Water Indra spotlight if one ever existed. That right there was the Water Indra spotlight, man. If one ever was there, that was it. All right, so that allows us to move on over to Giants now. Yeah, you got it, man. Alright, so seems like a lot of people are using... Yeah, you got it, man. Seems like a lot of people are using mixtures of Galleons, Beelzebub. Basically, it's a mixture of Ifrits, Demons, Galleons, and let's see. So Mirvero, Galleon, Hrelsberg, Meth. I can see Hrelsberg being good, but probably not needed. I don't think I have a decent Lin built, but I can probably build a decent Lin. So let's try this. Need something AoE from here, actually. So I bet you attack buffed. Bet you attack buff Lucian can still clear waves. The AI will be shit, but ooh. What could Water Indra do here? Probably nothing. Much as I want him to do something, no, Lucian would be better. Gonna have all sorts of tuning issues on this first run, but I didn't restore runes. Okay, let's do this just so we save this. I'm actually curious to try the Teshar here. I think the Teshar could be good. Okay. Only thing I'm worried about is not enough defense break, but we'll deal with it. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Wow, that's like negative crit damage. What the hell? Oh, it's the slot one. Okay. A little better. Also, I don't technically need attack on the 2, so let's just go for crit damage. That rune's probably best. Problem is it's speed, right? So now I need to be slower. Using 20 crit right there, that's not gonna work. It'll have to be this one. Nope. Oh, it's because I don't have the blade, right? Okay. I know I can get higher crit damage than this. I just don't know where the runes are. Oh, well that explains it. Thank you, bro. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Yep. Thank you, thank you. Okay. That seems good enough. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so 53. Okay, so 74, so that's faster. So 96. 87. He needs to be slower, right? Actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And then the galleon's plenty fine. Okay. So 74, 96, 53. I don't know if the Lin gets... Well, no, with the speed lead, the Lin doesn't get cut, right? Okay. All right, let's try that to start. much, but this is normal, so that means I'm a long ways off on the hard one. Not bad since the targeting was wrong, though. Alright, decent start. Not bad. "33 seconds, first run." Let's see if it's stable. Oh wait, I get some scrolls, right? Thought I got some scrolls for doing that. It's in one of these. There it is. Alright, that was fun. So this is a modified version of the team that I saw Seishizo run. In Seishizo's team, he used the Water Homunculus, and I'm using the Teshar instead. For one thing, I don't have a Water Homunculus. For another, I do think Teshar might be a little bit better in this team because of the bigger damage that he can do to the boss. Obviously, missing the defense break there twice didn't help. I think I might lose this one. Be interesting to see. Everything was built squish and it still survived. So that one was pretty bad RNG, especially considering the Galleon is max accuracy. I don't know what the boss is, but the Galleon's max accuracy. Yeah, but with the Roid you don't get the attack buff. I'm not sure how much the attack buff matters for the Ifrits. It does help the Teshar. Doesn't make a huge difference for Lyn, but it does make a difference. Now, obviously, nothing here is speed tuned. The Galleon's like twice as fast as everything else and not on a damage build. And also, to be honest, I wouldn't keep the builds that are like on Lyn and Akamanamir right now would break too many other teams, so I wouldn't be able to keep them at this level. The Lyn's also dying when the Giant revenges, which is a problem. So let's boost the Lyn. She's not one-shotting most of the time anyway. Let's boost her. Let's put her on HP Arties, actually. That might be enough. She scales almost entirely to boss HP, so her actual attack doesn't matter much. HP or defense? Yeah, let's go HP. We'll go skill 3 crit damage. CD is less. CD is more. Okay. Well, in this case, I don't think I can match this rune. I don't think I need to worry too much about it either. If I had to do anything, I might have a defense. It's the defense that's kind of messing me up here. So, actually, let's do defense arties, because I'm not going to be defense broken. And then I can boost the HP elsewhere. CD is less. Tech up effect 1 turn. This is not bad, actually. I haven't seen anybody test the dot team. I'm sure it could be done. Because, like, you could replace the... So if you think about the dot team, like, the Lucian you would just drop for, like, the wind dude. I forget his name. One of the new wind monsters that has like a 4-turn tattoo effect, but also does a lot of dots. And then you just replace one of the Melias for like a Pang or just something else that dots. I honestly think the dot team would be fine. I think it would work just fine. It'd be slow though. That's fine. That should be okay how she is. Let's try that. Oh, I failed. Is he immune to dots? Interesting. Well, then the dot team would not work. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I had not worked on this boss at all yet. For me, it was all spiritual realm, so I just was given teams by people. I knew he revenged AoE, but I honestly had not gone through his skills yet. Yeah, the Galleon's too derpy. Okay, so Lyn survives now with the defense arties. Obviously, this team would be 1,000 times better with Deborah. But I am thinking... $51. I suspect I need the speed lead here because of the Lynn speed. I don't know what the Giant's combat speed is, but she's like right at the GB12 speed, so I'm sure the Giant is faster than this, but I just want to tell... I think I took some of Beelzebub's runes, right? Nope, I didn't. Okay. No, actually, the Giant's like 96 speed. It's the side towers that are faster, right? Let's see. We get the pushback from the Vero, and then we get... Yeah, so this is probably okay. At least for testing. So the Bub's getting cut. So the first run was like 33 seconds, Braden, but it did have a fail. So I just tested the Beelzebub here, just to see. I want to see how much damage he does on the S1. Does 100k on his S1. That's not bad. So Mephisto should be right around that same 100k mark. A lot less than just throwing in a second Lin, isn't it? But Beelzebub, well, Beelzebub gives you that revive mechanic, but that's, you know, not free to play. Right? Technically, Lin's not free to play, but she basically, for most people who've been playing for a while, they should have at least one. I remember when I was like super excited to get my first Lin. Really fast. What up, Darkrin? How you doing, man? You can see the clear times here, Diego. The reason I was off that screen is because I was planning to prep in the next Lin. Oh, that's right, you can't use double monsters! Stupid. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, I forgot you can't use double monsters. Darkrin with the super chat says, can you do a quick overview of your dungeon teams? Darkrin, yeah, I can give you a quick overview. So for the Rift Beast, what we settled on, we did some testing. We actually counted the hits. It's verified that the less monsters you use, the less hits the boss takes in Groggy State. What I also verified is that if a monster dies, then the boss will take less hits in Groggy State. So one of the things I settled on was Light Robo, if you have it. I would put Light Robo on a triple fight set, but a damage set. And then I would actually have the Light Robo run fast, so towards the head of your team. I'm going to do a video on this. But the idea here would be that, here's the trick with the boss. Running less monsters means less hits in Groggy State, but it means the boss actually gets more hits outside of Groggy State if you can't put out enough damage. So the things that I was looking at, instead of trying to put up top scores with monsters that do like crazy damage scaled to debuffs, I was trying to find monsters that took additional turns and put out big damage so that you could get through the boss faster, preferably have faster animations, burn the Groggy State faster. And so what I settled on was some combination of the 3 Neostone agents that all self-cycle, the Water Doll Seam, which is better than the Poison Master. Poison Masters seem slow. And then the Light Robo on the damage build, and then Wahi. So Wahi is going to give you attack buff from 2 of her skills, and she does damage on one of those skills, so it gets you through Groggy State a little bit faster than a monster like Riley or Fran, who will do a lot of team buffs and not count as hits in the Groggy State. So in terms of getting through as fast as you can, it'll be Wahi, and then 4 damage dealers plus Light Robo. If you don't have the Light Robo, then he's not necessary. Abdullah, we actually tested Akmanamir in the first version of this team, but it got a fail, so now I'm just testing different stuff. Don't have a final team set yet or anything. Just trying to see if there's anything that worked a little better than him. Yeah, exactly, Darkrin. For SR10, this team was courtesy of Dies a Lot. So I tested 2 of the teams that I was given. As I was given a lot of teams, but the 2 that seemed most promising to me were Lucian, Triple Rauk, Seek, and then Shayna, Double Rauk, Double A-Star. So in the Shayna Double Rauk Double A-Star version, you can swap one of the A-Stars for Deborah and it runs faster, but I don't have her. So I tested both teams, and I'm pretty convinced that the Deborah Double Rauk Double A-Star is the best team I've seen so far for Spiritual Realm, so shout out to Dies a Lot for that one. One little trick on that one is you put the Shayna on Double Will Shield. So the shield gives you an extra 5% for the crit rate, and the Double Will on the Shayna allows the Shayna not to get oblivioned by the boss on the end stage, so that you get a second chance to defense break the boss if you miss the first one. The reason I like the Shayna team better is because of the more consistent defense breaks that you get throughout the entire match with Shayna. Yeah, Abdullah, the Deborah version is a 15 or 16 second team. So I've seen the screenshot of that. It was 15 something or 16 something, and that's the Shayna Double Rauk A-Star Deborah. That team should also, the Deborah version of that team should average sub 25 seconds. The Double A-Star version's probably in the high 20s. So for Giants, this is definitely averaging sub 1 minute. The Beelzebub gives you some dirt protection. I think that this team wouldn't fail with the Beelzebub. But obviously that's premium. The Mephisto, I think the Akmanamir might be better than Mephisto. I'm not sure. Beelzebub, the difference with Beelzebub here is obviously that if he dies, he comes back. And that adds a layer of protection that Mephisto doesn't provide. But 43, let's see what the average on these runs were. The Akmanamir team failed, so this is 47 second average. We'll throw the Akmanamir back in. And also slow the Galleon down. And move him onto crit damage, I think. try that. Did not try Savannah. I've used Savannah in a lot of different PvE before, and I'm not a huge fan of her. I know she does debuff scale on S2. I know the S3 is useful, but the S3 cooldown is just really low, and her AI is really bad. So when she goes out of turn, like when she derps the S3 first and then she burns the S3 at the end of a wave, it just makes the run super long. I can see Savannah being really useful to create a safe team if you don't have the rune quality to do a YOLO team. So I don't think Savannah is actually bad for this dungeon. I think she's probably good for this dungeon, but I think for people with higher rune quality, there's better options just because of her AI. So a monster like Hraesvelg, the Barbarian Wind King, I would find him much more useful than Savannah because of the lower cooldowns and the increasing attack speed on his passive, and he buffs the overall team a little bit more too. So Darkrin, Veramos got buffed at some point, I forget when, so that his S2 now does damage that scales to enemy HP. And so that's the reason for the Rage of Arrow, is because he can actually hit really hard. Attacks all enemies proportionate to the enemy's max HP. So most of these monsters here, pretty much everything you see being run right here, except for, I mean, the Galleon's obviously defense break, but everything else that you're running here, or that you see me running, scales to enemy HP. So the Teshar S2 scales to enemy HP. He's also really good for the waves. The Akamanamir and the Variable scale to HP. Lyn, obviously, all three of her hits scale to HP. So that's the whole idea with this team, is to find monsters that scale to HP. Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, no worries, bro. No worries, man. So the one thing I feel like this team is missing is backup defense break. The Akamanamir does nice damage, but I feel like it's actually not necessary. Like, I don't see appreciably better times. So the other team was averaging right around 50. Let's see what this team's averaging. And this is with the boosted Galleon. Obviously, these are really small samples, doing 3 and 5 runs, but I just see too many defense breaks. Is there a monster that defense breaks and scales to enemy HP, actually? Huh? Why is Mo Long showing up here? I don't remember him having... Oh, I bet you the S3. Okay, yeah, he's showing up at the S3. That makes sense. That's interesting. Yeah, Hadu, I apologize. Top of the screen is blocked to block chat. You're going to see that on a lot of different streamers over the next few weeks while Siege Tourney is going on and Tournament Guilds are discussing defenses. Most streamers have to block their chat, so I do apologize for that. Yeah, so I'm trying to find a monster that does damage that scales to the enemy's HP, though. Halea doesn't really do much damage. She does give you the brand, which is nice, but her AI is so bad, I would probably rather use like a Roid or something with S1 damage, S1 defense break over Halea. Halea is good for flex times. Like, you use Halea for the dungeons where you want to flex your speed. but she's a little bit less good for like actual farming teams. S2 defense break, but it's not reliable. I am curious how much damage Lynette can do, and she gives you that speed lead. I've always wanted to use Lynette more, and she just never fit anything, but I wonder if she could fit here. Good counter to Fire M Bison is surrendering. Now, immunity and cleanse is really good against him. Juno's okay against him. The thing is, it really depends on which part of the draft and what kind of draft is happening. If he's part of a CC draft, then you're drafting different counters than if he's part of like a bruiser draft. So if he's part of a bruiser draft, then you get immunity and he really does nothing. Or you get stuff like Belial or Beelzebub that are going to do damage scale as they have less HP. Belial would probably be really good about him. Welcome to tournament level Siege, bro. This is what a tourney Siege account looks like. I think I have 9. I mean, if I ever needed a 10th, I could build it, but you're never going to find 10 things you can Lucian. Yeah, I think I have 9. I actually have 6. So the first 3 are dungeons, and then I have 6 for Siege. I mean, I've got a deep box, but trust me, there are people that make my... I mean, you should see Heaven... Well, I've never seen Heaven's Royalties box, but I've seen his counters, man. He makes my box look like a Merly game. Alright, I'm looking for Akamanum here. That's right. Alright. Is this speed? No. Not sure if she's too fast, but let's try that. $33K there. My Discord link, it should have, interesting. Thank you for letting me know. I will, I'll update it. It should have been set to never expire. But here's an updated one. Yeah, Leia might be worth testing here too. I wanted some sort of secondary defense breaker. Okay, 146 from the 146 from the Lynette's not bad there, honestly. 46-second run. And she's obviously not optimized. I mean, none of this is optimized. So I'm sure we could get this. Like the Teshar should probably be... Well, Teshar's on a decent build, but I could definitely put Teshar on a higher build if we were trying for like more consistency. Veramos is amazing here. Like, Veramos pretty much has to be in this team. The AoE CC saves so much time. Not to mention his damage and everything else. But I wonder if these builds should be double will also. Like, there's a balance between YOLOing for top time and looking for consistency. Man, the Lynette is actually not bad here. Like, she's really not bad. Seems like the AI is decent too. 37-second run there. She might be better than the Akamanamir. Because she also heals on the skill 3 and she has a backup defense break skill 2. And even the skill 1 being AoE is not bad. And she gives you a speed lead. And for most people, I happen to have Akamanamir skilled up, but most people won't. So I think she's probably going to be an upgrade for most too, because then you're skilling up a 4-star and not a generally useless 5-star. The only downside is that stupid low base speed makes her hard to rune for some people. See, like right there. So Galleon missed the defense break, but Lynette landed it. How much time did that save on this run, right? How much time did that just save by her actually getting the defense break behind him? I do think I really like the Lynette. It's not a crazy fast team, but it's also not optimized. There's a lot of RNG in this team, that's the downside. How I feel about Crow? The only problem with Crow is there's not enough debuffs in most of the teams that we're looking at right now, so he's not going to benefit from the better AI or the damage scaling. The skill 1 defense break is nice. The team up is also nice for cycling. But I think Crow's probably testable. But I don't think he's going to get the big damage numbers we need. I mean, this seems like the fastest average team I've seen so far that of the ones I've tested. So we had 1 slow run and 2 fast runs so far. And again, keeping in mind, none of this is optimized. I actually think the Lynette should be acting in front of the Teshar, just for that backup defense break. And I'm really leaning towards some double will builds here. Momo does some really big damage, but then you're just assuming a long fight right off the bat. Because Momo takes a while to stack up, right? So if you run the Momo, you're just accepting, which is fine because that may be the case, right? But you're accepting that you're not going to get the faster runs. So the only downside to that is when you get this 52-second run, you're not going to have a 30-second run to balance it out. The other thing is, I don't know, I'll throw in Momo. I can throw her in, but I'll be honest, because she doesn't scale to enemy HP, I don't know, like the Lynette's doing 135k in just random runes without stacking, right? I don't think Momo's going to get to 130k. I think you have to have stuff that goes to the boss's max HP. So like Sigmarus would be a possibility. I think it's got to be almost all stuff that goes to boss HP. And Lynette was the only one that actually defense breaks and goes to boss HP. Yeah, you got it, Matt. You got it, Ed. Have a good one, bro. I think we're actually, I'm about 45 minutes over on stream already. I'll show you my LD Nat 5s. Yeah, that's a good place to stop. So the average on this was 46. Almost everything we tested actually came out right around, no res. Alright, rip. That would have been a nice on Taurus Rune if it didn't hit res. I think I have them all in profile, except maybe not Sylvia. Is Sylvia here? So we've got the Van Cliff and Laura both suck. Nikki is good. Ongyuki sucks. Pontos is okay. Wunsa sucks. Kraka sucks. Altair is not an actual LD, and I do have the Sylvia here. So Xiana's fun. Sylvia is amazing for Siege. Ritsu is decent. I actually like Ritsu quite a bit. Julienne is my favorite LD5. Cadiz is so-so. Beelzebub is niche, but really good within his niche. Volantis he's a really high win rate monster. Doesn't fit my playstyle. And then Lima's pretty good. But yeah, I have a lot of LD5s. I just don't have a lot of LD5s that excite me. Like all of the ones that I would want and really enjoy, except for Julienne. Absolutely love Julienne. And Sylvia is my newest one, and I'm pretty excited with the Sylvia, to be honest. But that's kind of it. Like, Beelzebub is cool. Beelzebub was my first LD5. I know him really well. Like, I've used him for years. And in his niche, he's really good. But most of these are monsters that are just kind of storage for me. Some of them are decent monsters, don't get me wrong. Like Nikki, for example. Nikki is one of the highest win rate RTA monsters, but she's not very useful for Siege offense. She's kind of on Siege defense. And because I don't like to cleave, she really doesn't fit my playstyle at all. Ongyuki was amazing before he got nerfed. Now he's kind of trash. Van Cliff has always been trash. Laura has always been the worst LD5 in the game. Wunsa is worse than Triton. Kraka is interesting. I have never personally made Kraka work, but there are people who do. I'll tell you what, Caesar, I actually really like Ritsu. So I wish I had some of the replays saved. Ritsu is complicated. You have to draft him in the right situations, but when you do, he can completely take over a match. And I'll give you some examples. He absolutely dominates Junos. He's a really nice counter to Shizuka. He's actually not a bad counter to something like Vertihile. The problem with Ritsu is that it's hard to draft him at the right times, and he's also stupidly stat hungry. So I don't know if I can manual a Ritsu build. He needs like 112+% runes to shine because he needs everything. But no, Ritsu is actually a sneaky good monster. I would say among my LD5s, if I had to say, like, so among my LD5s, if you look at who's good and so on, Kraka is probably A-ish tier. There are some people who make her shine, but most people don't. She fits really well with stuff like Ragdoll, but she mostly pairs well with other LD5s. So I would call her A tier, but if you have the right LD5s to pair her with, like Ragdoll, she can shoot up to SS tier. Pontos is probably on the border of A and S tier because he's got the speed lead. He fits really well with some cleaves, but he's still, like, he gets eaten alive by oracles and stuff like that. Wunsa to me is C tier at best because Triton is straight up better. If you have an LD5 and there's a Nat5 that does the same thing and does it better, then that's pretty bad. So Wunsa is C tier at best. Laura is straight F tier. Van Cliff is B tier. He's just like one of a dozen strippers. You can work him into some comps, but there's nothing about him that's better than most other strippers. Nikki is probably SS tier. Not for me, because I don't use her the way she should be used. But Nikki is probably at least SS tier. Ongyuki is probably B tier now? B, C tier, something like that. Beelzebub in his niche is S or SS. He desperately needs to get an extra turn when he revives. That's the biggest problem, because 22% of the time he revives, he just gets procced out anyway. So I'd say S tier, but he's really strong in his niche. He's just not usable very often, because everything resets and he can't get that extra turn, so. But within his niche, like anti-cleave, he's one of the best monsters. Lima, also S tier. Van Cliff, not Van Cliff, sorry. Volantis, also S tier. Julian, for me, is double S tier. A lot of people won't see him that way, but he's a free win every siege, and he's incredibly good in the right situations in RTA. Cadiz is S tier. Ritsu is S tier. So that gives you and then Ziana is S tier, and Sylvia is double S tier. So that kind of gives you a breakdown of like where I would put him. So among my LD5s, I would say he's at least as useful as Beelzebub or Lima in the right situations. At least as useful as Cadiz, but not as good as Julianne or Nikki. Yeah, I don't think Shizuka has to have max accuracy. It will burn you on occasion, like if you miss a stun on a cleansing unit or something. But the majority of the time, I think 50 AC is enough. Especially if you've got a good S3 AC arty, then you can push her up into the 60s, 70s anyway. Alright, so that's it for today's stream, guys. I will be doing videos on the Rift Beast team and on the Spiritual Realm team. The Giants team needs more testing. I think Lynette is really interesting there. I don't know if she's going to be the best or not. Probably not. But I do think she's really interesting. I like her more than Akamanamir. But I still feel like there needs to be a backup defense breaker in that spot, unless you just try and straight lap the boss, which would mean running everything at like 230 or so, which is a possibility. But it's not a possibility for everybody. Because I'm talking 230 plus speed lead. So this is what I settled on. Of the teams I tested, though, it would be this or the Beelzebub one. I might actually run the Beelzebub one. I think that was a little safer and it was about the same time. But this is where I'm settled on now. And then for the Rift Beast, like we said, it's going to be a combination of these 7 monsters with the Robo on a fast triple fight damage build. Remember, he scales to HP. And for Spiritual Realm, it's going to be the double A star, double Rauk, and Shayna on double one. So that's it for today, guys. As always, I appreciate you watching. Keep an eye out for the videos. You can see I am starting to get some more videos out now. And I'll catch you guys all in the next stream.